champions providing the opposition this afternoon, while talk of the double was certainly premature. We joined the game at the start of the first half.
Came at crucial times, and I suppose the second one probably killed us off, you know.
I'm sure that the media will make you hottest of favourites, having beaten Offaly so well in the Leinster final.
I presume at this stage the media will begin to understand Offaly a bit more and realise that Offaly are a team that just make rubbish of favouritism. They played outstandingly well the last day against Cork, and you know, nobody could make anybody favourites against Offaly this year, because they're outstanding players. They're All-Ireland champions a couple of years ago. I mean, I'm not trying to play us down. We're a reasonable team and they're a reasonable team, and it's going to make us a good final.
Yeah, purposeful, determined display by Kilkenny. The Liam McCarthy Cup has slipped away from them these past couple of summers, but they're clearly as determined as ever to put that to rights. Tomás McCahey, as that second half went on, you could see that Kilkenny were growing and growing all the time, and Galway knew that it wasn't going to be their day.
Yeah, I mean, it was a fairly polished performance by Kilkenny in the end. Probably a bit worried about their start. I mean, they started very slowly, gave the initiative to Galway, and Galway got some great scores, and Galway would have felt maybe at half-time they could have been further ahead than they actually were, and because they were creating the better openings. And Kilkenny came out as a changed team in the second half, used the space well and got some excellent points. And with any team like Kilkenny in the past, like I've said today, they have this ability to get out, get the goals at crucial stages in the game, and today was no different.
The second goal was a real killer, I suppose, Cyril, from Galway point of view. No matter how much you watch DJ Carey, you're wasting your time sometimes.
He's a magician and he's a fantastic hurler, like, you know, and you won't get too many like him. Like, they might talk about Team in the Millennium and all the rest, but DJ with the Christy Ring and Mick Mackey when kids are talking. But here again, it's a long ball from Brian McAvoy. Now, Brian Feeney's just caught out of position just for a second. DJ's eye on the ball for goal, catches. Now, he doesn't go just to tap it over the bar, straight away, forces the corner in the net. He's a predator. You know he's going to go for that goal. There's nothing else on his mind. Now, again, you just can't give him that much space. Now, maybe Brian was on him tight before that, but DJ drifts into positions, just had his eye on this, never takes his eye off it, and he doesn't go around just tap it over the bar. He goes for the killer the whole time, and like that effectively gives him a fantastic start. You know he's going to get it more or less, unless you can pull off a blinder. Like, no goal, he's going to block that. It sets up Kilkenny, even though Galway come back into the game, but like the start to roll in the second half.
Yeah. There were very few goal chances from the Galway point of view, Tomás. I suppose the best of those was the one that fell to Eugene Cloonan, who shot very quickly and got a point out of it, but there was a goal chance there.
Yeah, in the second half period, Galway needed to come back and get a goal to get themselves back into the match. And here we see a ball coming, very high ball in from Mark Kearns. Noel Hickey will just be disappointed, gone over his head. But here, he's in isolation, all in his own. If he had taken a split second more, just to kind of get his thoughts together, be like DJ, take the 3 or 4 extra steps with the ball in your hurley and things like that, and put it into the back of the net. At that time of the game, Michael, the score was 2-11 to 14 points. It was 17 points to 14. If he had taken his goal chance at that stage, the game would have been level. Galway were back in the match at that stage. Straight from the puck out, the ball went down the field, and Dennis Byrne gets another point, you know, to cancel out that point. It was an excellent opportunity to get the goal, and one that when it fell to Eugene Cloonan, you would have felt he had the ideal opportunity.
One or two other aspects from today's game. Now, this didn't affect the outcome as it turned out at the end of the day. There's no doubt that Kilkenny were the better team. But the umpires today were under camera scrutiny. They were having a look at how the umpires operated. There'll be some interesting things on the footage when they look back at it, I think.
Yes, I mean, again, in big games like this, you're going to get a few question marks over decisions and things like that. And today,
not our cameras now, I have to say. This is the GAA themselves.
Yes, but today there was a few question marks, and certainly in the first half period, there was a few decisions that I certainly felt went the wrong way. Here we see John Power picking up the ball, and as he goes through, it's clear that Ali Kenny actually flicks the ball away out for a 65. Watch the umpire come into the picture, and it's gone wide. He plays so wide. It was a 65. Here we see Henry Shefflin pulling on the ball, the umpire at the near post. If we see it from behind the goal again when it comes across, as Henry Shefflin pulls, there's no touch from the goalkeeper. Here's the umpire in a bit of 2 minds, going to wave wide, but then puts his hand up for 65. Now, Kilkenny scored that 65 to actually level the match at that stage when they weren't playing particularly well. It didn't have a major bearing on the outcome at the end of the day, but in title matches, it could have had a big difference.
From what you saw of Kilkenny today, sir, good enough to win the All-Ireland this time?
Yeah, well, like as Brian quoted there, he doesn't want to be installed as favourites because like you can't write off Offaly and like they're the best team ever to come back. But like they will be favourites. Kilkenny have been there twice in a row, and this is their third one. And like rightly so, they are Leinster champions, and they will feel that this is the year. They weren't flowing in the first half, but when they got flowing in the second half, you always felt that they were going to win. Galway just never kind of got in, fell away. The disappointment from Galway near the end was in the last 50 minutes they were gone out of the game as such and didn't look like winning at all. Kilkenny were coasting. Kilkenny are a good side.
The thing about it is, like, there was a good bit between the two sides of them when they met in the Leinster final. How are Offaly going to make up the ground?
Well, Offaly will tell you like that they weren't bothered too much when the goals went in the last day. Like, and again, like there today, you saw that when Kilkenny got chances for goals, they took them. Goals win the games as such. And like they'll be making up the ground because they have the team slightly different now the last day. They're different up the middle. And, you know, the lads are back from injury. They have everyone kind of playing again. And John Try will be back the next day. Not on the team, probably there as a sub. But it's going to take, they'll have to play as well as they played against Cork. And they did play very well against Cork. It's going to be twice as hard to do the next day because Kilkenny are forewarned. And they also probably deep down would like to say, listen, we got caught 2 years ago with Offaly, we're not going to get caught this time.
Okay, man of the match from this one?
Well, there was plenty of players that played fantastic today, but like the man that stood out to me above everyone else was Dennis Byrne. Like he started off his career, I suppose, as a forward, full forward line, wound up last year as centre field and this year as wing forward. Now, he actually gets 8 points, but 5 from play. On his right, on his left, from fantastic angles. Now, he's a beautiful stick hurler, and his wrist work today was just unbelievable. Here you see him beating 3 Galway backs on the left side over the bar. Nothing to do about it, you know, straight over. Again, you're going to see him in a minute, up in a crowd of hurlers, catches the ball, soars a bit on the left side again, when Kilkenny weren't playing that well in the first half, over the bar again. Like, you know, he showed all the skills today. He was really sharp. Now, this is after Galway getting the score. Puckhouse is going to find him up, he fields it again, turns it out on his right. Now, he's about 65 yards out there at this stage, over the bar again, and like it's killing Galway because he's nailing them every time that Galway get a score as such. And like today, like he'd be very happy because like he really kind of nailed down his position. It was also important, Michael, Kilkenny played very cute. He wasn't picked on that wing. He switched wings from the very start and they knew what they were at. Okay, so our congratulations to him and indeed our watch going down to Greggy Ballycallan as well. Now this week our video diary joined Galway's centre half-back Cathal Moore as he prepared for this afternoon's showdown against Kilkenny. A teacher by profession, he's been spending his couple of months off this summer running a hurling camp in his native Galway.
It's going to take a real team effort from this Galway team to win this match. I'm here doing the summer camps for the Connacht Council. They're set up through the Connacht Council and there's coordinators in Galway. So there's 6 summer camps going on in hurling each week and 6 for football. And I'm a head coach for one of the hurling camps throughout the summer. So. I suppose if you were to ask any of the kids that are training here today, I suppose an ambition that they would all have would be to play in Croke Park, and I was no different to any of those youngsters when I was that age. So, you know, hopefully it'll turn out for them as well. It's a very enjoyable experience and, you know, something that probably everybody should have a chance at if possible. Preparation has gone very well for both myself and the team. We got back into training immediately after the Tipperary match on the Monday night, and, you know, we're happy enough with how things have gone since. It's going to be a very difficult game for us, we know that, but we can't go in with the attitude, you know, that we're afraid of them. We have to believe we can win it as well, and we're just hoping that it goes well for us on Sunday. 1997 we lost a big lead against Kilkenny, and DJ Carey had a great game that day and probably beat us in the end, but it's going to take a real team effort from this Galway team to win this match. Every Galway player knows that the last day that we didn't play particularly well, and aside from a couple of great individual performances, we probably wouldn't have won the game against Tipperary. We probably wouldn't be in a semi-final, so we have a lot to prove coming into Sunday, and a lot of the players probably are under pressure to perform, and I suppose if we can go out and play to our potential, we'd be happy with that.
Graham hand passing it inside for Andy Donovan, going right through. Here's a chance for Kilkenny. A goal! Here comes Henry Shefflin. The hand pass back towards John Power. Moore did really well. Lovely wrist work, great stick work as well. Getting it out as far as Kearns. And Alan Kearns fires it in again, and he really is on a roll this time. Brian McAvoy, huge one up towards DJ Carey, always good for a goal, he's got a winner, DJ Carey. Back there is Dennis Byrne, and Dennis Byrne has got another point, and Kilkenny have a winning look about them.
We're very disappointed, you know, we've a lot of training put in this year, a lot of challenge matches played, a lot of league games played, and it's been a long year, and you know, when you turn around in Croke Park and you lose a match like that, you know, it is very disappointing.
In fairness to Galway, they weren't top for most of that first half, but that didn't really reflect in the scoreboard, you know, at half time.
No, we probably should have been further ahead at half time, but I suppose the goal that Andy Comerford got probably caught us in the end. We should have been maybe 3, 4, maybe 5 points up at half time, and that would have given us a bit of leeway in the second half. But once DJ Carey scored the goal in the second half, things seemed to go downhill from there. So as a backs unit, we have to take responsibility for the goals. You know, that maybe the first one shouldn't have gone in. You know, Andy ran a long way and ran through the middle, so that's something we have to take responsibility for. But you know, it's very hard to keep coming back. But having said that, you know, we'll just have to.
Galway have taken an extra step this summer, but I'm sure you would like to take a step into an All-Ireland final against Offaly.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Once you win a match, you like to keep going and keep winning, but it just wasn't to be for us this year, so we'll just have to go back to the drawing board and start again next year.
Colmore battled away gamely this afternoon, but there are days when it all just goes against you, I'm afraid. Well, that's where we have to take a commercial break. But coming up, we have Camogie action. That's the All-Ireland